Hello, yogis. I'm Dennis, and this is Teresa, and we are Mystery Machine Yoga. And to give a little reference to the mystery is life, the machine is our body and our mind, and yoga unites all that. Today we'll be doing about an hour to an hour 20-minute flow of some, I would say, beginner to intermediate yoga. And anytime that you feel like you're getting winded or tired, you can always drop back into child's pose or mountain pose or anything that makes you feel comfortable. Today we're going to begin in a seated position. And we're going to set an intent for our yoga today, our practice. And settle down and focus and bring inward our thoughts. And rely on what's inside of us to help us get through whatever we need to get through the day, because it's always been there. I'm going to start with some slow breathing. In through the nose, and then out through the nose. In through the nose, and then out through the nose. Just slow, steady breaths on your own here. And you bring your hands to prayer. And slightly tuck your chin. And I'd like to begin today's practice with 3 chants of Om. And on a giant in-breath and then out-breath, you say Om. But a nice big in-breath, here we go. Om. Feel that vibration as it sends throughout your shoulders, your knees, your back, top of your spine, your fingertips. And know that the vibration that you have throughout this entire practice can be sent anywhere you need it. Whether it's somebody that's struggling with something, somebody going through a tough time, you don't have to call them. You don't have to say, hey, look what I did for you. Because I promise you they're going to feel it. Here, lay your hands on your knees and reach up to the sky and twist to the right. And lay your left hand on your right knee. Your right hand towards the back. If you can look over your right shoulder, that's fine. But we're going to begin with a few stretches for the back. Slowly warm our bodies up. Gently turn your gaze back forward and raise your arms to the sky. You're going to place your right hand on your left knee, your left hand to the back behind your spine, And then breathe in and twist. And exhale, twist just a little more. On your inhales, extend the spine. Exhale. See if you can look a little further back behind your shoulder. And turn your gaze back to the front of your mat. And raise your hands up, straight up to the sky, cross-legged. Just simply forward fold to whatever's comfortable for you. You can place your elbows on the ground. You can keep your elbows off and your hands flat on the mat. We're just trying to open up those hips, stretch that back out. Kind of a little yin and yang. On a nice inhale, slowly crawl your fingers back to the top of the mat. And then set your feet out, straight out in front of you. And just relax your knees. If you have a block or a blanket to roll up and put under your knees, you can, but we're going to do a seated forward fold, one of the most beautiful poses in all of yoga. And you just take this for how it feels. On your inhale, you always extend your spine. On your exhale, you just drop a little further into the pose. This pose is not meant to challenge us. It's meant to help us get ready for the other poses that's coming forward. But also it's meant to help us get ready for the challenges that we have coming in life. So there's always stiffness when you encounter something that's traumatic or exciting or hurtful, and helps you be able to relax and encounter or accept these moments and just relax and not react. There's that small moment between seeing, hearing, feeling, and reacting. So breathe in, extend the spine, and exhale, relax into the pose. And breathe in, extend your spine, and exhale, fall into the pose. Gently on a nice big in-breath, slowly release the toes, slowly right up the shins, right up the knees, right up the thighs, and place your hands to the side of your hips. Now place your fingers and your hands in a fist position and put them on the floor, put them on the mat. And with your heels down and your toes pointing to the sky, on an in-breath, just lift your hips a little bit and feel this in your shoulders and in your triceps. Breathe in, come up. And then exhale, fall down. Breathe in, extend your hips up. Exhale, relax them to the mat. And breathe in, extend them up. And exhale, relax them to the mat. Gently turn your feet to the back of your mat, turn over, and let's get into a tabletop position. And we're going to slowly start warming up the body. So tuck the toes, the knees, hips width apart, shoulders, hands directly under the shoulders, and then roll back on your toes. And then forward, over your wrist, and then back onto your toes. And then forward, onto your wrist. One more time, back onto your toes. And then forward, onto your wrist. Now back to neutral tabletop position. Untuck the toes. And then roll around clockwise. For 3 to 4 slow, nice revolutions. And breathing in, then out. Come to a neutral tabletop position. Then reverse your roll counterclockwise. It's so important to warm up your wrist, your ankles, your knees, your hips before any type of strenuous or physical asanas. Come back into a nice neutral tabletop position. Then take your right hand and extend it to the sky. And take your right hand and tuck it under your left shoulder. Thread that needle. Lay the right side of your face on the mat and open up that right shoulder and just breathe into that shoulder. Keep the hips square. You can have the toes tucked or untucked, doesn't matter. We're working on the upper shoulders right now. Gently come back out of that pose. Center your spine. Take your left hand, extend it to the sky, and then thread that needle up onto your right shoulder. And lay your head down. Square your hips around, and just breathe into those areas. And focus on your breath. Bring your left arm back up to tabletop position. Just roll around and relax. Now finally push up into your first downward facing dog of the series. And walk this dog out left and right. I like to set my right heel as close to the mat as I can, even though I can't touch the mat. I'm lifting my left heel and I'm stretching that right outer calf, and then roll to the left side. Keeping the hands firmly planted on the mat like pancakes. Focus on the pointer finger and the thumb, keeping sure you have more pressure inward than out. And then roll back to the right. And then back to the left. And now become a little static. Just sink that head. Have a nice straight line between your wrist and your hips. Take a big breath in and slowly walk to the top of your mat into a nice, beautiful forward fold. To me, this is the most beautiful pose of all of yoga. because I'm bent down, I'm lying down, I'm just praising everything that I'm doing, and I'm so thankful. And I have so much gratitude for my body being able to let me do this. Breathe in halfway up and exhale, forward fold. Round at the knees and bring the hands all the way up to salutation. And bring the hands down to the center heart, Anjali Mudra. And we're going to begin this big flow, this first big flow of this hour and 20-minute practice to slowly warming up the body and giving thanks to our body, our breath. Each movement contains a breath, and remember the breath, whether it's in or out. And if you fall off of that, you can always join back in and focus on what you need for you. So slight bend at the knees, round the arms, bring it back to the sky, and then a big swan dive, forward fold, all the way to the mat. Halfway up, flat back, and then step your feet all the way back to the bottom of your mat in chaturanga, all the way down. Baby cobra, inhale up and exhale back down. Baby cobra, twist to the right. And then exhale back forward. And baby cobra, twist to the left. And then exhale back forward. And push up into downward facing dog. And push back and extend your right leg straight up into the air for a three-legged dog. And bring it to your chest. And hold there for 3 breaths. And bring it to the left. Now bring it to the right. Now push it back up. Now step it all the way forward. And come up in the Crescent Lunge. And hold right here. With a little bit of balance, twist to the right, open the arms. And then back to Crescent Lunge. And then back to the mat. Vinyasa, all the way to the floor. Baby cobra, back down on exhale. Baby cobra to the right. And back down on the exhale. Baby cobra to the left. And back down on the exhale. And push up in the downward facing dog. Take that left foot, extend it into the air, three-legged dog, nice piercing back, and then bring it to the chest. And hold here for 3 breaths. One more big breath. Bring it to the right. Bring it to the left. Bring it to the right. And bring it to the left. Now pierce it back up. And step it all the way forward to the front of your mat. And come up in Crescent Lunge. And breathe. Sink those hips down low. The left quad sitting nice and flat. You can see those toes just to the right side of your left knee. Now twist to the left. And bring it back to Crescent Lunge. And then bring it Vinyasa all the way to the floor. Baby cobra up. And exhale down. Baby cobra to the right. Exhale down. And baby cobra to the left. Exhale down. And then push up in a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. One more time. Now slowly walk the feet to the front of the mat. Sit here in forward fold for a couple of breaths. Breathe in, flat back, half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Close the feet together. Breathe in and reach for the sky and take a seat. And just sit here and hold this beautiful position. Because now instead of looking at the mat, we're looking up at all the beauty, the trees, the leaves, the air, the sky, and breathing in all this beautiful joy. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, and then roll to the right and take your left elbow and set it on the outside of your right knee. And then twist to your extent, whatever's comfortable for you. And just breathe in. Remember to keep the knees together as much as you can. A nice big inhale. Come back to center. Go back up to chair. And breathe. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. And take your right elbow and place it on your left knee. Trying to keep the knees together. And then twist in that body. Come bring your hands back to center. Anjali Mudra, chair pose, all the way up. Now we're going to grab whatever we've got a hold of life that we want or we strive and we struggle to deal with on a daily basis or a weekly or whatever it is. And we're going to grab that and we're going to swoosh it down by our sides 3 different times. Breathe in, swoosh. Reach up, breathe in. One more time, breathe in, swoosh it. Now reach up, breathe in, big breath in, and then forward fold, straighten the knees. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Sit here for 2 breaths. On a big in breath, flat back, halfway up, and then exhale all the way to the mat. And chaturanga, all the way down. Cobra breath in, exhale down. Cobra to the right in, and exhale back down. Cobra breath to the left in, and exhale down. And push back up in the downward facing dog. And just relax and breathe into this downward facing dog. Then the body's starting to warm up a little bit. We're going to get a little bit quicker, a little bit more faster pace. So we got 2 more rounds of this. Take that right leg, pierce it in the air. Bring it to the chest. Bring it to the right. And all the way to the left. And then to the right. And then all the way to the left. And then to the right. And then push it all the way back. And step it to the front of the mat. Crescent lunge, come all the way up. Breathe, twist to the right. And then back to crescent lunge. And then vinyasa all the way to the floor. All the way down. Baby cobra up. And baby cobra down. Baby cobra to the right. And then back down. And baby cobra to the left. And then back down. Then push up in a downward facing dog. Take that left foot, extend it into the air. Hold it up. And bring it to the chest. And now bring it to the left. And then to the right. And then to the left. And then to the right. And one more time to the left. And then pierce it back up. And then bring it to the front of the mat. And then crescent lunge. All the way up. And breathe into this. Twist to the left. And hold here for just a second. And realize the difference of what you're looking at. That like perspectives of life can always change. And you never know what you're looking at until you turn away and look a different direction. Back to crescent lunge. Now twist the back right foot at a 45-degree angle. And we're in warrior 2. Warrior 1. And now take your hands and bring them behind your back. Thread your fingers together. Sit there, open your chest. And then fall forward at the hips, all the way down onto that left thigh. And give humbleness and gratitude to everything in life that you're thankful to. Give blessings to who gave it to you. With a strong left foot, push back up into warrior 1. Now twist into warrior 2 on that left leg. I know that left quad is burning. So extend that left hand out far forward as you can and then twist your body down for triangle pose. And just breathe into this. Somebody in life gave you this, and now you can give it to yourself. And just focus on the love and attention that you need for your body. Now with a strong left foot, let's raise back up into warrior 2. Nice. I know that quad's burning, so straighten that left leg out. Flip the palms. Twist the left foot parallel with the right. And reach the arms straight up into the sky and wide-legged forward fold. And just breathe into this. You can take your hands out by your feet. You can put them in the center. If you'd like to shorten your stance, you can. If you'd like to widen your stance to make it a little easier, you can. But most importantly, if you keep your toes kind of pointed inward, it gives you a better stretch on your inner thighs. Breathe in, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Put your hands on your hips, and with strong feet and strong core, breathe in and come all the way up. Twist your left foot to the front. Get on your back toes and go into crescent lunge. Twist to the left, and then twist back to crescent lunge. And then vinyasa all the way to the mat. Baby cobra up and down. Baby cobra, inhale to the right and then back down. Baby cobra to the left and then back down. Now push up in a downward facing dog. Take that right leg, extend it in the air, and bring it to the chest. And push it back out. Now take it and place it at the front of the mat in the crescent lunge. And then twist to the right. And back to crescent lunge. Drop that left foot flat at a 45-degree angle into warrior 2. Warrior 1. And just sit here and breathe into this pose. And focus on those quads, burning just a little bit. Now drop your hands back down below your backbone. Cross your fingers. Raise your chest to the sky and give thankfulness. And be humble as you fall forward and give thanks. And just breathe into this. And take your hands and release them, but stay in the lunge and bring them to the mat. And go ahead and raise your left foot off the ground. Like you're pushing a wall back from the left side. You can keep both hands on the ground. And just breathe into this. A nice exhale in. And exhale out. And drop back as easy as you can into warrior 1. And then go to warrior 2. Warrior 2, yes. And bend that quad. Feel it burn in that right quad. Reverse the warrior. And then vinyasa all the way to the mat. And then push up to baby cobra. And exhale back down. Now push up to a plank. And push back to downward facing dog. Now take your knees and set them on the mat. Take your toes, put them together. And go into child's pose. And know that this is the pose that we can always get into when we're struggling. But we can still take a nice big breath in, feel it rising on our thighs, and then exhale. Feel our hips fall to the floor. There was this ancient village many, many years ago, thousands of years ago, up in the mountains. And the elders became aware of an impending attack from a tribal village, tribal clan. And they worshipped this golden statue, or they meditated by this golden statue every evening and every morning. And they were really concerned that this other village would pilfer and take their statue So they took thatch and mud and leaves and sticks and everything and covered the statue. And then so and behold, a few weeks later, they were attacked. And the villagers that weren't killed were run out. And it was barren. So hundreds of years later, a new village emerged at that same spot. And one of the elders, who's been practicing meditation for many, many years, walked out to the edge of this field where this mound was and started to meditate. And he was struggling, meditating. So he grabbed these precious stones he had and bring them in close to his heart to help meditate. He was still struggling. He couldn't focus. Eventually he got frustrated and he threw the stones to the side. And one of the stones hit the mound that was in front of him. And a glimmer came from the mound. Something shiny. Something never seen before. And the elder focused his eyes on it, and he looked with amazement and wonder. So what is that? So he walked up to the mound, and he started peeling back the branches and the stems and the thatch and the leaves and the mud to realize there was this giant golden statue inside of it. And he fell down on his knees and cried and realized, just like us, we never know what we have inside of us until we pierce that tiny little spot and we realize there's something beautiful and golden inside of all of us. And we just start peeling away at it. And then we're able to emanate it and show it to all of our family, our friends, eventually the world, and then it spreads everywhere. So that's what we're doing here. We're slowly chipping away at the mud that we have on our own statue. So push back up into downward facing dog. And push back. And slowly walk your feet to the front of your mat. Nice forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, reach up all the way to the sky. Hands to prayer. Now drop your hands down by your side to mountain pose. So in life, along with the strength that we need, we also need the balance. Not that we have to have the balance, but we need to practice it. We need to understand that along with a neutrality in life comes balance of strength, flexibility, and calmness. So take your right knee and bring it into the sky. And take your right foot, plant it on the inside of your left calf for tree pose. Focus something on the ground and open up the hips and breathe into this. And bring your right knee back to the front. Pull it up to your chest. And now as you're pushing a wall to the back, to Warrior 3. And if you fall out of the pose, that's okay. But focus at something on the ground. And just stay intent on what your body needs. Some have balance. And some work on balance. Now bring that right knee back up to your chest and then set it on the ground. Now with the equality that we have with our bodies and in life, let's ground that right foot in, not so stiff to where you can't feel, and bring that left knee up to your chest and plant that left palm of that foot on the inner right of your calf for tree pose on the left. And just breathe and focus into this. Take your knee, bring it back to your chest, and remember that wall that's behind us with a flat foot and our hands at prayer. We're going to push that wall back and focus on what's in front of us and breathe. Bring that knee back up to the chest and then set it to the mat. Good job. And take your hands, raise them up to the sky to salute. And then forward fold all the way down to the mat. Breathe in halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in halfway up. And exhale, forward fold. One last time. Breathe in halfway up. And then chaturanga all the way to the mat. Cobra or upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Sit here and breathe into this. Roll your back forward into a plank position. And then roll onto the outer right blade of your right foot from plank. And then raise that left arm in the sky. And keep your foot down. Now take your left foot and raise it up about a foot. Don't bend your knees. And then drop it behind your left knee. We're going to go into wild thing. And then push your hips up to the sky. Exhale back down. Bring your left foot back to your plank, side plank. And your left hand back to plank. And then chaturanga all the way down. Cobra or upward facing dog. Push up in the downward facing dog. Now roll your back into a plank position. All the way to plank. Then roll off to the left side with your right foot on top of your left. Raise your right foot in the air about a foot with your right arm extended in the air, and then set your right foot back to the ground behind your left knee, and then push your hips up for wild thing. And breathe into those open ribs. Exhale, back to side plank. And then bring your right hand back to the mat. And then chaturanga all the way down. Cobra or upward facing dog. And then downward facing dog. Do a big breath in. Slowly and gently walk your feet to the front of the mat. Nice forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Round at the knees. Bring it all the way up into salute. Hands to Anjali Mudra. And sit here for a minute. Feel the heart pounding, the sweat, the strength that your body has given you, and the love that your mind has led you through. And remember to focus this energy on somebody who's struggling, somebody who could use a little help. Because what we're doing right here isn't so bad. So what other people are going through might be. And we just never know. Bend the knees and round the arms up to the sky. And then forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, go all the way to the mat. Baby cobra. And then push back into downward facing dog. Our last downward facing dog of the flow. So try and do a little something different with this downward facing dog. And you don't have to push your heels to the mat. But what I'd like you to do is raise all of your toes off of the mat while keeping a straight line from your wrists to your hips. Just raise your toes, all of the toes off of the mat. And focus on this. Feel that beauty and that stretch and that strength in your body that you've given it. And relax back. Set your knees on the mat. Crawl your knees forward. And let's go into a seated position. Put your legs out, straight out in front of you. With a nice tall spine, hands on your thighs. I want you to take 5 breaths. Square shoulders, chin tucked just slightly. And take your right foot, place it over your left knee. And raise your arms to the sky, and then let's do a little seated supine twist to the left. You can wrap your knee, or you can set your elbow in front of it. Whatever's comfortable for you. And just breathe into this. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, twist just a little more. Return your gaze back to the front. Extend both feet back out in front of you. Extend the spine. Place your hands on your thighs. And then breathe. Nice 3 breaths with a nice straight spine, tucked chin. And in breath, take your left foot, place it over your right knee. Reach for the sky, and then twist to the left. Seated supine twist. Just breathe in, nice and gentle. On your in-breath, extend the spine. On your exhale, twist just a tiny bit further. Extend your gaze back to the front of the mat. Set your feet out straight. And for 3 breaths, lay your hands on your thighs with a straight spine and breathe. Chin tuck just a little bit. Raise your arms to the sky and reach forward and grab your ankles, your toes, whatever feels comfortable to you. On the inhale, slowly relax your body back to a seated position. Put your hands on your thighs. Nice 3 more breaths in and out with an extended spine, lowered chin. Now bring the palms of the feet together up towards the pelvic area for seated butterfly. You could take your elbows and set them into the inside of your thighs and put your hands to Anjali Mudra and press out. Or you can just simply grab the bottom of your toes and pull those up, whichever is comfortable. But just keep focused that this is not in the knees, this is in the hips. And breathe in and out. A big in-breath in. Grab the outside of your knees and pull them together. Let's go ahead and lie all the way flat on our back, on our mats. And just relax. Take your knees and bring them into your chest. Pull them nice and tight. Give yourself a big, beautiful hug. And then roll them all the way to the right while extending your left arm to the left, keeping your shoulders flat on the mat. If you want to take your right hand and place it on your left knee to give it a little more pressure, you can. The important thing is to feel the stretch, the twist in the middle of your spine, not the lower, not the upper. With the aid of your right hand, bring your knees back to center. Pull your knees up to your chest and reset the spine. And then roll them to the left, extending your right arm to the right. If you want to place your left hand on your right knee for a little added pressure, feel free to do so. If you want to place your gaze to the right thumb, main thing is to keep those shoulders nice and square on the mat. With the aid of your left hand, bring your knees back up to center. And pull your knees in to your chest, reset that spine. And then raise the shoulders, raise the head. Nice big baby twist. And extend out into our final pose, Shavasana. Lie back comfortably, with your feet wide as the mat, your palms facing the air, shoulders relaxed into the mat. And just come back to your natural breath. And the famous Zen monk Thich Nhat Hanh said, "A cloud never dies." So as with us, we build up a lot of energy sometimes, and our clouds swell up. And we lose that energy. The cloud shrinks or dissipates. but that energy goes somewhere. So we can take this energy and build it up and send it to someone we love, someone that needs it, someone that's going through a tough time. And share our love, our energy. And keep in mind that we need to keep some for ourselves. Because without self-care, without self-love, we can't share anything. So for another minute, let's lay here in Shavasana. Slowly blink open the eyes. Slowly wiggle the fingers. Wiggle the toes. Feel how your feet are setting into the mat. How the back of your calves are resting into the mat. Now your hips are sitting comfortably, squared on the mat. Your shoulders and the back of your hands just melting into the mat. And finally your breath sinking into your belly. Gently roll over to your right side of your body. You're out with your head, your arm. And take your left hand, set it behind your back. This is your truth. Opening up the feminine side of your body. Relaxing your heart. Where it doesn't have to, it pumps through. Gently take your left hand and push up into a seated position. And just breathe. And take your right hand, place it on your belly. Your left hand and place it on your heart. I'm going to do a little bit of breath work. So you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. You're going to hold for 4 seconds. You're going to exhale for 4 seconds. And then hold for 4 seconds. And then we'll repeat that process a couple of times. But stay extended in the spine. Relax though, with the chin tucked just a little bit. And we'll begin. Breathe in. 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Take a big breath in through the nose. Place your hands down by your side or on your knees. Big breath in through the nose. And sigh it out the mouth. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, your heart center. If you'd like to bring them to your third eye, you can. But know the light and the love in me honors and respects the light and the love in you. Namaste.